After Rabbi, one of the important things of the mitzvot of Shabbat is to light candles for Shabbat. And as you probably know, right, the woman should light the candles, not the man. The mitzvah is more for them than it is for the men. They come first. But if there's no woman in the house, the man should light. Yes, of course, he has to light. With the bracha and everything.
If the woman another city.
Yeah, you have to light, of course, because you have to have a light in the house, for Shabbat. Why is that? Because only Shabbat, without, what are you going to do in darkness? What kind of Shabbat is that, right? They say Shalom Bait you have when you have light in the house. There's Shalom Bait. When you have no light, people start fighting with each other. It's a bad atmosphere. So that's why you don't want to have a dark house on Shabbat. So as we said, right, if the woman is there, she should do it. That's for sure. She comes first. Why is that, by the way? Why does the woman come first? What's the reason why? So according to Kabbalah, there's a deep reason for this, whatever. So they say, right, that what happened was that Chava, right, she caused Adam Arishon to sin by giving him the forbidden fruit to eat, right? So she brought death to the world, darkness. You know what I mean? So because of that, to be metaken, to make a tikkun for this, now she has to light candles, to bring light to the world. Instead of bringing darkness that she brought Chava, now she has to bring light. So this is a tikkun for her. But according to the simple meaning, it just, because she's in charge of the house. She's the one, chazaika, she's the chazaika of the house, right? So she's in charge of everything in the house. So therefore the mitzvah is on her. This is also, right, the simple meaning why she has to do it, right, and not the man. Okay, very good. So as we said, right, another thing it says there in the halakha is that a person should make a ner yafeh, should make a nice ner, nice looking, good aesthetically, good looking. So don't just bring something cheap, some little cup, and that's not the right way to do. Make it nice, good looking. The women who are religious, God fearing, what they do is they make special decoration for the for the Ner Shabbat. They do special things there, all kinds of things to make it special. So a woman who knows how to do that, right, that's a very proper thing to do. They say if you make Ner Yafeh, the Chazal say, right, you're going to have children who are Talmidei Chachamim. You have zechut, to have Talmidei Chachamim for children. So it's a big zechut, That's another thing. One thing I want to tell you though is like this, right? Question, arises nowadays. We have, the electricity, right? And we have the candle. So the candle is not so bright, can you imagine just lighting the candle and the whole room is dark, that doesn't look nice for us, right? We're not used to such a dark room like that. That's what they used to have in the old days. Just 2 candles, like this. That's all they had. Nothing else. There was no electricity. So the question is, now that we have electricity, right, which one is the ikar? Which one is the main thing? Right? The electricity or the candle is the main thing? Which one is the mitzvah? Right? So it's a machloket, Yeah, you're right. It's true what you're saying. But there's a machloket in the poskim about this, in our times. Some poskim say now the ikar, the main thing is the electricity. Why? Because it gives you a lot more light, Candle is nothing. It gives you something, dark. It's dark. No big deal. They don't get really much over there. It's not enough for us, We're not used to like that, living like that. So that's why they say, the ikar today is the electricity. Nerot Shabbat, that's it. That's Nerot Shabbat, according to them, right? You understand? So there's another opinion which says, no, still, the candles are the ikar. The main thing is the candles. Why? Because that's the rabbis, were metaken. This was a taken of the rabbis, to have candles with the fuel, with the wicks, and all these kinds of things, right? And the electricity is a different kind of a system. You know what I mean? It's not the same thing. So it's a machloket, between the poskim today. Which is the ikar? Which is the main thing? Electric or the candles? So in order to, right, if you want to be tzaddik, right, and do both ways, to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, what do? You make the bracha, right? And you light the candles and also the electric, after the bracha. This way, you cover both opinions. You understand? This is the proper way to do it, if you want to do the best way. Also, it's not so good, that a person should have the electricity already on, and then make the bracha on the candles. Why? Because the candles is not giving you much light. You know what I mean? The light is already there. You know? So it should be the room, when you make the bracha, it should be dark in the room, you know? And then light everything. Chuk, 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 right? Everything. Right? This way, the bracha went on both of them. This is exactly that's the best way to do it. No. This way you cover both opinions. You know, this is the proper way. Also, if a person, let's say, doesn't have, you know, let's say he went to a hotel, right? Over there, you cannot light candles. You know, there's fire extinguishers, you know, and fire alarms. If they get the smoke, they're gonna start going off. Choo 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 choo. The manager is gonna come to you. Oh, what happened to you? You know, he may kick you out of the hotel. You know what I mean? So what you do is, you know, if you can't light candles, right? You did it. Okay, God bless you. Where did you do it? In the lobby or in the room?
No, in the room.
In the room.
We have special space.
Where was this?
The coffee.
Where?
Coffee.
I see.
No. Aruba.
Aroma. Okay, very good. So, but anyway, if you can light, you can light. You know, if they allow you to light it, you know, because right. But you know, the management usually doesn't allow, you know, to light candles in the room because it's a fire hazard. This is the reason why. You understand? So therefore, if you go to a hotel like this, you know, you're in a hotel on Shabbat, what you can do is to light the chashmal, you know, the electric, and make a bracha on that. You know, Adlik ner shel Shabbat, chuk. Right, and that's it, right? You can do that. Yeah, you can make the bracha because.
You can say bracha.
Of course, yeah, because it's also light. You know, what do you think? It's not light. It's the best light. You know, so this is what the poskim say. You know, if you don't have nerot, Shabbat, you make bracha on the electric. This is what you do. You know, don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Oh, how can we do that? It's not the tradition. It's not the minhag. Yeah, okay, but you know, things are changing in the world.
If you put the timer, this is 10 o'clock evening. It's closed.
Yeah. No problem.
Enough.
Yeah, whatever you want. That's up to you. You know, you want to put a timer, you can put a timer. You know what I mean? That's not really a problem. Either way, it's good. Whatever makes you happy. But the point is, right, that, and also I would recommend like this, you know, if a person is going, let's say to be guest, you know, let's say you're going to your relative's house. He invited you, right? And you're going to sleep there, you know, or you're going to come back even, you know, at night to your house after you eat the seudah. So, you know, I don't think it's a good idea, honestly, you know, to light candles and leave the house empty like this alone, you know, because it's a fire hazard, you know. Houses have burned down like this, you know, with candles like this, unattended. So don't do this, you know, this is not a smart thing. I tell you, you know. If you're going to go to your friend, to your relative, what you do is like this, you know, light the electric, make the bracha on that, right? And go like this, you know, this way there's no danger. If you light candles and nobody's there, sakana. This is danger. Yeah, you leave it on, yeah, why not, you know? But it's only if you're coming back, you know, to use the light. If you're not coming back, let's say you're staying there all Shabbat, right? So then don't light nothing. For what? Who are you lighting for? For the demons? For the shadim? What? Who are you lighting for? I mean, nobody's going to enjoy it, right? So you cannot light like that. You know, only if you're coming back at night, right, to enjoy the light, to use the light, then you can make the bracha. But if you're not coming back, so then, right, light over there where you're going there, you know, and over there when you're going to be a guest, the thing is, you know, you cannot make a bracha there. Why? Because the woman over there makes a bracha. So you just say amen, you know, to the bracha, and you can add one more candle, 2 more candles if you want, right? But don't make a bracha yourself, because this is not your house. You're not the chazaika over here. You understand? You cannot make a bracha. There's no way to do that, right? Only the chazaika makes the bracha. That's it. Nobody else. According to the Sephardi custom, you know. But the Ashkenazim, what they do is, you know, the daughters also make a, you know, they make a bracha. Why they do this? For chinuch, you know, to train them. You know what I mean? But this is not our custom. This is not our minhag. You know, the Sephardim. We don't have the daughters lighting, you know, with a bracha. They can light without a bracha. You know, just to train them, you know, whatever. But the only one who makes the bracha is the chazaika, right? The ikeret habayit, that's what we call it in Hebrew, right? The mistress of the house, right? The head of the household, right? Whatever, right? The lady, right? The main lady over there. She's the one who makes the bracha. Okay, fantastic. So this is the way you do it, you know, in order to make things the proper way. Another thing is like this, right? The truth is, you know, the real religious ladies, you know, the ones who are irat shamayim, you know, very God-fearing, you know what they do, right? They don't use candles, wax, you know, or paraffin. They use olive oil, you know, shemen zayit. You know that, right? This is the best way to do the mitzvah, shemen zait. Why? Because the Chachamim say, it burns brighter than the wax and the paraffin. It's more bright. Gives you more light. And also, because they say, right, if you use shemen zait, you're going to have banim who are tamid chachamim, children who are tamid, it's a big zechut, shemen zait, olive oil, So, the more religious ladies, they don't use the regular candles, the one you buy in the supermarket. They buy shemen zait, they pour it in, and they make it nice and good, everything, they put the wick inside, like Hanukkah, same thing, right? Huh? Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Yeah, the good old days. The good old days. Yeah, that's right. Okay, whatever, right? But, it's okay. Wax, paraffin is kosher. I'm not telling you it's not kosher. But the best is the shemen zait, olive oil. If you want to do it the best way. It's a big zechut, for the family, for the children. It's a big zechut for everybody, So, if you want to do it that way, right, this is the best way. This is the best way to do, right? Okay, so now the question is like this, right? How many candles are you supposed to light? The truth is, according to the simple halacha, one candle is enough, But everybody does two, right? Am I right? And some people do more also. Right? Some people do 5, or 10, I know some people, and they do a lot. Big amount of candles. They say, it's a mitzvah according to Kabbalah to do more, all kinds of things, Yeah, okay, I understand that. It's good, to do more. But the thing is, the minimum is 1. The minhag is, by most people, is 2. Why 2? Right? Because we have, right, in the 10 Commandments, right? It says the 10 Commandments in the Torah 2 times, right? Once in Parshat Yitro, and then in Sefer Devarim, right? Again. We have 2 times. So one time it says, right, Zachor at Yom HaShabbat. The other one it says Shamor, right? Zachor, Shamor. 2 different languages, right? So why does it say the different language, right? It's the 10 Commandments should be the same language. Right? One is saying, right, Zachor means to remember it, to remember Shabbat. Shamor means to keep the Shabbat. One time it says to remember, one time it says to keep the Shabbat. Why? Why change the language? So the Chazal say, they darshan it different ways, but the Chazal say, Zachor means, right, to remember the Shabbat. How do you remember Shabbat? To make Kiddush, to make Havdalah, right, all these things. That's how you actively, to remember Shabbat. By doing these mitzvot. Shamor, what does that mean, Shamor? It means don't do the melacha, don't do forbidden labors, Don't drive your car, don't smoke a cigarette, don't cook, right? All these labors, right? 39 labors that we have. Forbidden labors. So each one is talking about 2 different things. So therefore they say, since it says 2 different languages, right? Shamor and Zachor, so what we do is, we light 2 candles to symbolize that we have 2 elements of Shabbat, One is the positive, one is the negative, right? Do this and don't do that. Shamor and Zachor, right? That's the 2 different things. This is the reason why we light 2 candles, at least the minimum. Okay, fantastic. So as we said, right, just to remind you, I'll finish here, I don't want to go too long. I want to remind you, right, what we said, that when you light the candles, right, the regular candles, so it's not good you should have the light on, electric. Why? Because you already, have light. So how can you make a bracha now? Right? What's the bracha for? You really need these candles? You don't even need them. You already have this. So what are you making a bracha? So says the Shulchan Aruch, that if there's already candles lit, in that room, and you want to add more, you're not allowed to make another bracha. Because it's tosefet, you're just adding, You already had candles. So now you cannot make another bracha. So this is the reason, what a person should do is, when he's lighting the candles, nerot, first put out the chashmal, the electric, put it out. And as we said, right, then make the bracha and light both of them. Because otherwise, how can you make a bracha? According to Shulchan Aruch, you cannot make a bracha when you already have light. Bracha levatala, it's a blessing in me. One more thing it says also, one more thing I tell you, This is important to know, to understand. When do we light the nerot, right? The custom, as we said, right, we already spoke about this. The custom of the Sfaradim is 20 minutes before Shkia, before sunset. Right? Ashkenazim, they do 18 minutes. We do 20. Where is it written? This Kaf HaChaim. Also in Chazon Ovadia, Maran Ovadia, he says, right, that our custom is 20 minutes. A little bit more. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's almost the same. No big deal. 2 minutes, What's the big deal? Anyway, right, What I tell you is like this. What about if a person wants to light early, or a little bit earlier? Right? Because let's say he has to do something, I don't know, whatever, he's going to be busy, so he wants to light, let's say, a little bit early. Is he allowed to light early? So the truth is, that he can do like half hour before Shkia also, that much he can do. Half hour before. 20 minutes is the minhag, but if he wants to do before, 30 minutes, that's good. That's okay. But what about if he wants to light like 1 hour before Shabbat? Is he allowed to do this? No. Huh? So says Shulchan Aruch, you can light 1 hour before Shabbat. But the thing is, right, if you do that, you have to take on Shabbat, you're already in Shabbat. That's it. That's the thing, So if you do more than 30 minutes, right, 1 hour before, let's say, right, that means you're in Shabbat already. You cannot do melacha anymore. But who is that for? That's only for the woman. Because she's the one who lit, right, the candle, But the man can do still melacha. He didn't light the candle. The woman did. So it's not for the man. It's for the woman, the one who lit the candle, right? Early, he takes on Shabbat. But our custom, right, by the Sfardim, if we light the candles 20 minutes before, like our minhag is, right, or let's say 15 minutes, 10 minutes, if he was a little bit late, it's okay. But the question is, right, do you take on Shabbat when you light the candles? The answer is no, we don't. We Sfardim, we don't. We don't take on Shabbat. We can still do melacha after, until Shkia. A little bit before Shkia, you should add a little bit to it. So that's the thing, we can do melacha. But if you light very early, 1 hour before, then you're already in Shabbat. So what can a woman do, right? If she already lit before, she's already in Shabbat. She needs to do something now, right? Some melacha. What should she do? Tell her husband, right? Or her son, right? You do it, right? I can't do. I'm sorry. I'm already in Shabbat. I cannot do. So tell them to do it. They're not in Shabbat yet. ברוך ה' לעולם, אמן ואמן. רבי חנין המלך שאומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לעשות את ישראל, לפיכך הכי בא להם תורה ומצוות של ממוני חפש, למען צדקו יגדיל תורה בידיר.